Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be unboxing the Unsettled framework. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I'm really excited to unbox Unsettled. And so I ordered a bunch of Unsettled stuff at the end of 2024, and I've just had it sitting in the packaging. I haven't had time to go through these unboxings for about 4 months now, but I'm really, really looking forward into getting into this game. And so it's a modular game. There's a ton of stuff out there for it. And so I'm going to do a bunch of unboxings, and I'll just spread them out over several weeks, and I'll make a playlist out of them. So that way, if you want to get real granular with like which pieces you want to order, this will help maybe give you some information. So in this first video, I'm unboxing the base framework for Unsettled. So this is the main game. It does come with 2 planets, so I'll look at those in this video as well. So everything that comes in this box, that's what I'm going to open up today. And I did order this from Orange Nebula's web store, the publisher's web store, and they included with it this Errata pack. So some of this may be relevant for this particular printing, some not. I'll go over this later, but this Errata pack that I received, or what do they call it here? This Unsettled Replacement Kit, this will also be included in today's unboxing video. So let's get the shrink off of this. I'm really excited. It's a slightly awkward sized box, but it's fine. It's you can't tell from above, but it's fairly tall and very much more rectangular than the more square-shaped, board game boxes I've got in most of my collection. But that's not necessarily a negative. I'm just pointing out that it's sort of a different shape. All right, so let's get all this plastic off. All right, which don't love the single-use plastic, but that's what it is. So let's get this box top off. It's a pretty heavy, but oh man, look at that. All right, we'll set this way so you can see. So that's very interesting. I'll have to let me see if I can tilt and show you this. This is going to be a little bit of a long walk. It's an aside, but there's some really cool artwork here on the side of this box. And before I was doing board game videos in a previous life, another hobby of mine, I did some science fiction writing, and I've been published in a couple of places, won some contests, but nothing major. But one thing I used to do a weekly, or at least weekly, writing piece online, like a free writing exercise, and a lot of times they'd be based off of artwork, and I would just reach out to different artists when I can look at their portfolios online and ask for permission to use their artwork. And I recognized this one. I asked this artist, whoever it was who did this, if I could do a piece on this using this image as a prompt. I don't know that I ever heard back from them or not. Maybe I did, maybe not. I don't think I actually wrote a piece on that, but that was kind of funny. I took this box top off and I recognized the artwork. I was like, I've looked at this before. Okay, that is not relevant to anything for this game, though. So let's take this aside, and let's see what we've got here. So on top, looks like we've got the rules and procedures. Okay, this is fairly lengthy, it looks like. Just flipping through it, but a fair amount of pictures. Ooh, a lot of text in the back, though. That's a little beat up. That's too bad. This corner's all messed up. Oh well, nothing I can do about it. So this is page 47 here. So this is pretty sizable. There's a list of icons. That's helpful. I'm guessing these are just clarifications for. This is more like a glossary of like specific cards. This here is page 27. So it looks like the first 27 pages are probably most of learning how to play the game and the rules and everything and components, and then the back half of this is mostly appendix from what I can tell. So next, more plastic wrap, which is too bad. Hate to see the single-use plastic. But when we get this open, we have got what? Just a little piece of paper. Um, what the heck are these? Oh, there's a bunch of them. These are all single-sided artwork. I wonder if that's it, if it's just artwork for the sake of having cool artwork, or if these have some sort of game purpose. I don't know. Interesting. Yeah, as far as I can tell, it's just artwork, which it is all very nice artwork, not to downplay that. Like, it looks great. I just don't know what else to do with it. You can frame it, I suppose. So, okay, I'll set these aside. And then we've got, these look like reminder cards. So these are icon reference sheets, flip them over. These are the different actions you can take in the game. So there are 4 of those. Again, this one's a little bent up too, so that's kind of disappointing that these weren't in a little bit better shape when they showed up. I don't know if you can quite see. I got one of them that's clearly bent in the corner. But now let's get to the good stuff. So this I was looking at online. These trays look really cool to me. So they stack like this and seem to hold together pretty well. And this makes it much quicker for setup and storage. But this is upside down. This one here is your trust and time track. So you've got a marker that'll reset here and cause exhaustion. And then this is very much a cooperative and what's the other word I'm looking for? But collaborative type game. And so you measure your trust with your other crewmates. So that's what this tray is for. This one is for stuff you can build. So I believe it's the breakthrough tray, and you put there's different things you can build. I guess structures. There's breakthrough little cards that go with this, and then these are comprehension tokens that you can gain through the game. And then there's planet specific tokens. So anyway, there's that tray. This one is the resources. So I think it's data, materials, and power, if I remember correctly. And these are shared. So you keep your like data and materials up here, and then you can put them in this these pools here, and these pools are available to all players. So this is like your supply, and then this is what's available. And then the power can be either charged or not charged. So this is the dynamo, and there's, you can't quite tell. You can see that there's 2 circles here, but this one is lower than this one. So your power can sort of waterfall into the spent, and then you can use your dynamo to charge it back up. So that's really nice. This will hold all of those components. So after I set it up the first time, it'll be sort of ready to play. And this one, I want to say this one is called the Moments Tray. And so there's all these different cardboard pieces that will go here depending on the planet, and a couple of opportunity markers. And you can see these gray bars at the bottom. These indicate that cards will sit here. So it tells you kind of what cards sit by each of these trays. And so first impressions are that these trays are great. I was pretty excited for them when I looked at them on other videos and on Orange Nebula's website and official content. I do say now that I've got my hands on them, they're a little bit larger than I imagined. I just don't think there's nothing wrong with them, but the size is good, but it's just they're bigger than they looked in video, and I suspect that'll be the case with my video too. But I don't know. The size of my hands, they're big. But they seem like they'll do their job great. So I'm excited for these. We'll get them set up in a little bit. What else have we got in here? These are the first 2 planets. So on the left here, this purple one, we have planet 1. This is Wenora. And planet 2, this is Grakkis. So these come with the framework. So again, the way this game works is you get this framework box, and it's like all the general stuff you need and the basic rules for how the game works. But then to actually play the game, you pick a planet and you play one planet at a time, and it's got different missions or goals or survival tasks. I think that's what they're called. So you pick a planet, you pick one of the survival tasks for that planet, and that's what you play. And each planet's going to like have a different twist on the rules. It's going to add some new rules or bend other rules in different ways. So they're all kind of unique experiences. And then there's lots of these modular planets you can go out and get separately. So 1 and 2 come with the base game. I've got, as of recording, 3 through 6 as well. But I really like this because if I want to like take this to a friend's house and go and play, even after we've played these two, I can just put any 2 planets back in this box and have one thing to carry instead of a bunch of things to carry. So that's pretty cool. So I will later in this video go over the contents of these 2 boxes in more detail, but I'll set them aside for now. So next up, and this is kind of neat, these cutouts here on the side so you can more easily get the contents of the box out. I've got player boards, and a bunch of other stuff, which I don't think this is normally something you'd take out, but let's take it out right now so we can have a good look at it. Okay, here's our player boards and then punch boards. So the player boards, we've got purple, orange, green, and blue, and they are dual layer, but very thick dual layered. So the stuff that you put in here is going to sit really nicely. Let's see here. Oh man, they're dice. I forget what they're called. They're called like focus cubes or focus squares or something, but they're dice. You just don't roll them generally. But these are much bigger and chunkier than I thought too. These remind me of the size of the dice in Twilight Inscription. If you've played that or if you've watched my video on that, these are huge. These are almost like the size of, again, like if you've played craps in Vegas, like those bigger dice that casinos have. They're like that size. They're pretty big. But these are what you use to take your actions, and you can put them here in these slots on your player board. And then there are also slots here for some cubes. Where are they? They're in here somewhere. You've got some cubes that go in here, a different cube that goes here. These are your comprehension tokens, and then there's even a place here for a little avatar, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So let's pull this aside too, and let's put these back. We've got our Luna figure. There's all sorts of plastic bags of goodies here. These are the opportunities. These are nice. I like that. These are really thick too. Everything is bigger than I thought it would be, which is, again, not necessarily a bad thing. They're just bigger than I thought from other videos. So I like that these are translucent so you can see what's going on under them. We'll take a look at those later. Here are the player minis. Again, much bigger than I was envisioning. They look great. Same colors as the player boards, of course. That's tall. That guy's big. So I will take a look next at these punch outs, and then I will punch out and organize everything and then give you my thoughts after doing that. But let's take a brief look right now at the punch outs just so you see what's on them. And these are, again, a little bit self-punching. This box must have got roughed up a bit at some point. So, man, everything's bigger. This is a big tile. So these are, I think, breakthrough tiles here. This is really thick cardboard too, which in my opinion is a positive. This is, I think it feels really nice and a little bit more robust. So we've got some avatar tokens here. The scarab is like your starting location. That's your ship. Again, I think these are breakthroughs. These are comprehension tokens. This is a building. I'm not sure what some of these things are. We'll take a look later. Oh, this is like, trust. I want to say it's trust. One of these is probably time. So we've got more avatars, another starting location. Oh, these are opportunity tiles, I believe. And then, am I missing? Oh, that's what this one is. Okay. That one was here. So 3 punch boards, really thick. And Orange Nebula, the publisher, always talks about their black core, which it's a minor thing, but I do think it looks nice. So that the whole side of this is black. So I will get these punched out. I'll get everything organized. Then I'll come back and give you my thoughts or any tips that I have on that. And then I will get into planets 1 and 2, and I'll talk about the contents of that errata pack at the end. So stick with me. Here we go. All right, so I can start to show you a little bit about what's going on here, but I'm pretty happy with everything, if I'm being honest, my initial impressions after punching everything out and getting it organized was not too hard to do. I already learned. I made some mistakes, but I'll show you what I've done here. So in this bottom well, I've got my 4 little player minis down here. I took them out of the bag. They came in a bag, but I think they're just fine like that. And then I've got my 3 punch out tiles for the scarab. So this is where you start in the game. This is your ship, the scarab. You always start on the ship. And I thought this was interesting. This side of the tiles has an action, and they all make the game easier. So it's recommended you start on the blank side, and then if you're having a hard time with the game, try flipping it over to one of these other tiles on this side that gives you like another free action you can do that should help you out. So that's the scarab tiles. They go right there. This tray, everything fits really nice. These are not breakthroughs, like I said. These are like personality traits. So every player will start with 1. And let me take out one of the player boards real quickly to show you some of this. So here's the purple one. So this one just is called the Harmonist. I don't really know what it does, but it says recover here. And here's your recover action. Every player has the 6 same actions: theorize, investigate, traverse, support, recover, and rest. And when it's on this side, it covers recover. And that's when your team has high trust. When the team, I believe, has low trust, everybody flips it over to this side. Now you have Harmonist, and it covers, oh, it's still Harmonist, but now it covers support. So your normal support action goes away. You have this different support. And then when trust goes back up, you flip it back over, and your normal recover goes away. And now you have this recover. So there's a set of these. I think it's 12. Harmonist, Optimist, Skeptic, Nonconformist, Leader, Commander, Artificer, Empath, Intellectual, Zealot, Altruist, and Caretaker. Yeah, there's 12 of them. And so, it's going to be different combinations of covering up some of these actions. And I don't believe Rest can ever be covered. That's the one that you always have. So those have a little slot for them right there. Oh yeah, they can fall out, but I suppose this tray doesn't really get taken out. It sits in the bottom of the box, and so the side of the box would keep these in place. Next, you've got these dice here. So there are 4 in green, 4 in orange, and 4 in blue. Each player gets 1 of each color each game. And you use these to take action. So they're like an action tracker. So I've got 3 blue actions left, 2 blue actions, 1 blue action, and then it goes to time. Time is the last one. And then I don't really know what these symbols are. Maybe they're not used at all. I'm not sure, but that's the general idea. So you've got 1 of each, and you put them on these different spots, and you can unlock additional spots through various means in the game, and that's how you take your actions. You've also got a robot companion you can all control throughout the game, and that is Luna. So here's the mini for Luna, which is pretty nice. I like the aesthetic of it. There are 4 clear cubes I put in this well, and then 4 small black cubes with different inscriptions on them in this well. You give 1 to each player at the start of each game. So that clear one goes here. That's your endurance marker. And the other one is your insight marker. So you set it to whatever side you want. And then as insight advances, when you get to the top and you roll over, you gain a comprehension matching whatever symbol you've got face up there. So, and then when you come back down to the bottom, you can choose to keep the same symbol and go for another one, or you can flip it to any other symbol of your choice and try and get different comprehension markers that way. So each player gets 1 of those. And then I use this last well here. These are the 2 markers for trust and for time. They are single-sided. So I guess you can use whatever side you want, but they've got the logos on one side, so they just go in that tray at the start of each game. Then there are these punch-outs here, which you may or may not use, it seems like, in any particular mission. Try and flip them over so you can see what's on the backs. These are like time-triggered events that, depending on what planet you're playing and what your task is, it might tell you to put 1 of these here and 1 of these here, and then as time advances, when you get to that space, you do a thing. These are triggers. So they have various uses. There's 6 of them, and I put them right here on the right side of this well. And then there's some other pieces I've got in this well. So I used this green and blue. These are 8-sided dice with different symbols on them. Just seems like different numbers: 3, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I don't really know what they do or what they're used for. They are glittery. they're uh, they're fine though. They're dice, but I used them as a separator here. And then on this half, these are the avatars, and these are pretty funny because they've all got like a face on the front side, and if you flip it over to the back, it's the same face with sunglasses. And I think that gives you some idea uh, of the feel of this game. But you can pick any of them when you play the game. And my understanding is you put that right here, and that's just sort of, that's you, that's your avatar. You can put it on the sunglasses side if you like. I don't know if that has any gameplay effect, but I think on some planets or for some tasks, you may take this and put it on the map for some reason. I don't know why, but otherwise it doesn't matter which one you pick. So I think there were 12 of these, maybe 15. Let me check. Yeah, 15. There's 15 of these. So you can just choose the one you like at the beginning of the game. And that was everything in this tray. So let's set it aside. Here, maybe we'll put this player tray on top of it, and we can use it as an example if we need it. Oh, geez. We've already gone over this time and trust tray, so there's nothing else to talk about there. This tray here, so we've got these 3 building tiles, and there's a build side and this, I don't know, other side. The side where it's got the little shape of a cube that kind of matches this, that's the side that's going to be face up at the start of each game. And then these are the comprehension tokens. So if I had the green one and I moved all the way up and looped around, I would grab one of these and earn it, and it goes right there on my player board. And that has some various game effects. Now, when I put these pieces in here, I was pretty dubious that they would stay in place. These wells were not very deep, but I gave it a pretty good shake test. Let's do it again now. They're all right where they should be, so I'm fairly impressed. They made that work with like the minimum amount of material possible. So that's good. So that'll be all set up when I'm ready to play. This next one, I added in here some pieces. So these large discs are the opportunity discs, and they'll go on map tiles, and that's why they're partially clear. You can still see what's beneath them, but there's sort of this pinkish one and this blue one. And when you play, there'll be a set of cards here and a set of cards here, and various, you can try and unlock these opportunities and try and earn whatever is on that card. It might be a one-time effect or it might be an ongoing effect. I don't know, but these are used to mark map spaces, and each map space you can only look for an opportunity once, so that's what these markers are. So these were cardboard punch-outs. There's 12 of them. You just put it on the space to show. We've already done one of these here at some point, so you can't do another one here. You'd have to go to another map tile. So 12 of those, they fit in that well. These 2 pieces sit right there just fine. And then depending on the planet you play, these are going to be planet specific. You're going to add other pieces to this tray. So I'll set that one aside. And the last one is the resources. There's a couple things I did not notice on other unboxing videos, so I just want to point them out real quick here. So first of all, your data, these are blue cubes. These are like pretty standard. It seems, if I had to guess, I don't know. I was going to say how many millimeters, but I have no idea how many millimeters this is, but like a standard board game cube. So it's like a translucent blue. There's 24 of those. There's 24 material. These are the green ones, but these are like little gemstone shapes. So I don't know if that comes across super clearly, but sort of these abstract gemstone shapes. And that makes sense because the wells, as you earn them, are kind of abstract shaped and square shaped. And the last, 2 more things. There's the dynamo. So these just store in the bottom side, and there's only 6 of these. So they're little orange discs, little pucks. So there's 6 of them, and they go in the bottom, and they can, as I said, be moved to the top. Then you spend them. What I couldn't tell in other videos was that this tray is not empty. There are black cubes in there, and they're larger than the blue ones by quite a bit. They're the same size as the clear ones that go here on your endurance track. So there are 12 of these black cubes, and those are just planet-specific resources. So I don't know if every planet will actually interact with them, but that's what goes in that well. From other videos, I always, the black blended in the black, I just thought this tray was empty. So there is something there, and it's not more of these orange pucks. So those are the resources. So I want to stack these back together. and I will keep the time and trust one on top because there are no loose pieces on this one. So now all my other components are held in place, and I can put this back in the main box. Let's move this aside. So let's put this in here, and then I won't have a reason to remove it really ever again. And so now you can see those like personality trait tiles. Those will stay just fine now. So I can put that there, and we're going to, I suppose, get into the planets next. So let me set some of this aside, and let's clean off this tablecloth. There we go. And now let's go over planet number 1. So that is planet Wenora, and it says challenge level 1. And one thing I noticed right away without opening the box yet that I really like, this is not wrapped in plastic, which is really nice because it's not sold individually. So I like that they at least eliminated some plastic there. So here's the box for reference. It's got a little diagram on the back of how you can put it together. We'll talk about a couple things, but the premise is Wenora, embrace your fungal hosts and discover mind-bending abilities beyond imagination, or be absorbed forever. So, what do we have in here? We've got a small booklet with an intro, quick setup, planet primer, and some advice. And then we're going to have some punch outs. So we have 2 small boards of punch outs, but they're thick. Again, it's all this thick cardboard. It's really nice. And what do we have in here? Ooh, it's fighting me. Come on. Just do that. So tray system where the lid snaps on. So that's kind of nice that I was able to tip it like that and not actually dump everything. And so a couple things. Without even getting the plastic off this, this is where the map tiles are when you build out your map, when you play the particular planet that you're playing. And there's some storage space down here where there's cards, and these are for breakthroughs and other things. There's a space here for these punch outs and other tokens, but they do sell, Orange Nebula sells sleeves for these pieces. I don't know if they're needed or not. I'll see once they're unwrapped. I don't have any. But my understanding is you can store them just like this and place them here. And if you sleeve them, because of the extra thickness, you just get rid of this tray and they will fit here. And this gives you some extra height so you can still use the lid. So I think that was pretty slick design-wise. So there's a few things here to punch and open up. So again, I'm going to breeze through this and then I'll tell you what I think afterwards. So here we go. All right, so let's talk about Wenora. So a couple things that are worth noting here that are interesting. This little booklet does not have an exact table of contents for what comes with this kit. On the back of the box here, there's a list, but it is not the quantities are not part of the itemization. So it says there's like planet-specific mechanic cards, but it doesn't say how many. Environment node cards, it doesn't say how many. So I am taking on faith that nothing's missing. I have no reason to believe anything's missing, but I always do like to check. So one thing, I do not have the sleeves, like I said. I don't think they're really necessary. These are, again, like everything in this game, bigger than I thought they would be. These are going to be shuffled in their groups. I don't think it'll be terribly difficult. I think they should be fine. I don't think I need the sleeves. But these cards, so without the sleeves, just as they come standard, sit here in this tray. And it seems like the tray is just slightly too short for the number of cards in here. So if I go like this, top handful of cards are going to slide out, top 2, 3 maybe. And then from here, they're nice and secure. That's not really that big a deal because there is a lid that I'm going to clip onto here, but just something I'm pointing out. And then it's most likely scenarios I'm not smart enough for this case. But this seems to go on top. It seems like the trait or the tokens go here, but like they don't all fit with this tray on top. And I'm not using sleeves on these cards down here. So I used those wells a little bit for some of these tokens. But if you were to sleeve these cards, I don't know that they would all fit. Although maybe I can probably put all the cards in one stack and then use one of these trays like this. But if you sleeved them, you wouldn't have quite as much space. I don't know if that would work, but just seemed a little bit crowded, and I couldn't find any details anywhere on how this stuff was intended to be stored. But these 12 tokens here, they've all got beautiful artwork. These, let me take the tray back out, are the tiles that go in this tray. So like I said, they're planet specific. So each planet you play is going to have a set of tokens that sit in this tray. And they are earnable. You can get them by completing different objectives on the game map. So that's what those are. These, I don't know exactly what they are. I'm sure it tells me in this booklet, but as you play the game, you'll probably need to put these on various map tiles or perhaps on your player board. I don't know. So there's several of those, and then this one big one here. Everything did punch out just fine, so I should say that. We can look at the little cards here. So we have one. Here, let's get another tray out. We'll put this tray on top now. There's one card for Luna. So Luna has a primary function, and it's different for each planet. So that goes here. So when you play Wenora, Luna has soothing robotic voice that you can use. And then you can see there are labels down here, labels that I cannot see from my angle, but they say anomaly, breakthrough, 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 and distress. And so that's what this small deck of cards is. You've got these breakthroughs, 4 of those, 4 of these, and 4 of these. And those all appear to be unique. So you shuffle them up a little bit, and then when you gain one of these breakthroughs, there are 4 different ones on the back side of each of these. So 4 of the blue, and 4 of the green, and 4 of the orange, like so. And I'm trying to remember what these stood for. I think one of them was chemistry, one was robotics, and one was engineering. Oh yeah, it says robotics, chemistry, and engineering. So that's what these 3 tracks correspond to. And then there are 12 of these distress cards, and these appear to be identical on the back. And when you start the game, you take 3 per player, and you put them here in the distress pile. And then you could potentially run out of them. And that causes bad things to happen. And then there are these anomaly cards. There are 12 of these as well. And these also appear to be not identical, but there's like 3 sets, 3 blue ones, 3 orange ones, 3 green ones. And each of those sets appears to be identical. So 4 identical blue ones, 4 orange, and 4 green. I don't know if that's typical or not, but you probably shuffle this up, and there's your anomaly deck. So I suppose I will put them back in the box in that order. So it's one less thing to sort out when I sit down to play this. Okay, so that was everything down here. Now we'll take a look at this top section. So there's a number of these larger cards up here. So we've got hallucination cards, environment cards, we'll set those aside, opportunity cards, and we'll set these aside as well. These are the tasks. So we'll set these aside. Let's flip back to the opportunity board. So this one, you've got this opportunity deck. These are all unique on the back. You're supposed to shuffle these up, put them into equal piles here, and then I don't know if you start the game with one of these flipped over or not, but as you play the game, you might look for an opportunity, and you choose either the blue one or the pink one, and like that's the active one now, and so that one's on that tile. And if you're able to complete it, you do what the card says, or you can choose through some game mechanisms to forego that one and draw a new one out of that pile. So those are the opportunities, and that's how you set up those cards. And what else have we got? Using this tray, we have, I can't see again, environment cards and planet-specific cards. So the planet-specific ones for Wenora are these hallucination cards. And looks like they are different, but they're all hallucinations. So I assume you shuffle those and put them here. And then your environment cards, this is the map. So this is the back of the card, so you can't see what tile is coming next. But on the other side, these are all the tiles that you're going to start laying out as you generate the map and you're exploring the planet. And so as you move your character from one space to another, you may trigger different effects. There may be effects for when you enter a space. Some of them, I don't know, have, obviously spots where you can build buildings. You can interact with the environment in all sorts of ways. So I assume these get shuffled too, and that is where you build out that deck. So let's put this here. These opportunity cards and hallucination cards, the planet-specific ones, look really similar, even though their artwork is slightly different. So I'm just separating them with the environment cards so I can tell them apart more easily. Then let's put these here. Finally, we have the task cards. So the task cards go below this one. And so you pick a task. There's 3 tasks, and that's what you're playing in a playthrough. So there's this blue one, this green one, and this yellow one. So let's say we're playing the blue one. There are 4 cards. They're double-sided, and you use them like a book. So you place them here, and then you flip as you go, and it'll tell you when to turn the page and what to do, and you're trying to complete this task. So 3 tasks in a box, and I think that's standard for every planet to come with 3 tasks. So I will put those here on top. One other thing I want to point out, it looks kind of symmetrical, but this tray is not symmetrical, so it only goes one way. So I was kind of fighting with it for a while. It's not even 180 symmetrical. So I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. It's just, it only fits very specifically in one direction. It's very obvious when you get it, so know that as well. So let's put the lid back on here. Okay, that seemed to work. This was the bottom box, the bottom of the box. Here we go. And I noticed, the tagline for this game is "Space is hard, try not to die." I think that's the tagline. But on the box for Wenora here, it says on the side here, "Space is hard, hallucinating helps." So that gives you just some indication of the theme for this game. So, for this planet. So now we've got this one boxed back up. So let me set this one aside, and I'll take these trays back now that I've been able to demo what those do. And the next thing I'm going to do is go through planet number 2. This is Grakkis. So this one has a challenge level of 2. So let's open it up right away. We've got our booklet. It says the Petrified Wastes, and quick setup, planet primer, continued reference and FAQ. And we've got a couple punch boards again. Here's one. It was a little hard to get them out the first time, but no big deal. 2 punch boards again. We've got our box with, I assume, all the same stuff in it. So we can take the plastic tray lid off. These are our large format cards, small format cards. We'll put all this in there. So I'm going to go through this whole thing again. It'll be a little bit quicker this time, and I'll give you my impressions afterwards. So here we go. All right, so there's a couple things here that I can show you that's a little bit different, or that I didn't cover on the previous game. So again, number of special tokens. These are different than Wenora. They're not a bunch of spores. They're different things. But these tokens that go on that moments board, they've all got some cool artwork and whatever the name of the thing is on the front. But I didn't appreciate before, on the back they do all say Grakkis, so you know what planet these come from, just in case you get them mixed up. And the same goes for the smaller cards here. So we've got Luna's primary function, it says Grakkis on it. The anomalies all say Grakkis. All of these cards say Grakkis at the bottom, just to help you identify what game they came from in case you got anything mixed up. Otherwise, these cards, everything worked the same. There's 1 Luna card, anomalies. There are 12 anomalies and 12 distress, which appeared identical, except for the anomalies were 3 different identical sets, and then 4 unique breakthroughs in each of the 3 colors. One thing, I don't know if I pointed it out either, just again, the little cards and these big cards were wrapped in single-use plastic, and I think that would be a good case for paper wrapping, personally. Maybe that's just me, though. Does this fit, or did I do it wrong? Oh, that's wrong. That's definitely wrong. That's wrong. That's how it goes. I kind of felt like the other one snapped in place a little bit. Maybe not. So again, we've got our 3 scenarios, 4 cards each. We have, let me jump to the back here. 12 of these opportunity cards, same as the last box. 12 of these environment cards. I don't know if there's always 12 environment cards, but I think that was the case for both of these. And then Wenora had 12 of the planet specific, so these all say Energy Storm. This one has 11, and then this one was slightly different artwork that says Mystery Card A. So I will not flip that card over just in case. But there you go. That's what's in here. So this goes back together the same way as the Wenora box. Don't need to spend a lot of time on it. This one says on the side, space is hard, try harder. So, that was everything in the main box, but let's get to that errata pack next. So this is what I received. I think there's been a couple printings of Unsettled, and some of them may have had some issues, and some may have had other issues, and I don't know. But when I ordered the framework, it came with this. And so let's see what's in it, just in case they make different ones later. It says Unsettled Replacement Kit, part number ONB0200-159. Let's see what's in here. I tried to look up in advance like what was in this because I couldn't order it separately. I didn't ask for it. It just appeared. Which was fine. If they know there's errata, then that's nice. So this one I was able to figure out. I was like, why is there just one player board? Does this add a player? But no, here are the 4 player boards that I received. And you can see this action here is traverse, traverse, traverse. And for some reason, just the orange board does not have the word traverse. So this is a replacement board. Otherwise, it's completely functional. But they replaced it for that purpose. It kind of I don't know how that would happen in the printing process because I think these are identical. It seems like they just changed the color. So I don't know how they lost a word on one of those, but they replaced it and didn't have to do that. So that was nice. So that was the first thing in the errata pack. Now let's look at what's in here. This looks like some planet specific things probably. So here are 3 chemistry breakthrough cards. Oh, interesting. One is for Wenora, and the other 2 are for other planets. This is, I don't know how I'm going to pronounce these. Califos and Zeron. So I will get to those in future videos, but Zeron here is planet 3, and Califos, Califos, I have no idea how to pronounce that, is planet 6, which is the last one I purchased. I purchased 1 through 6. At time of recording, I think they've got 11 right now. So I guess these will go with these. We'll find out later. But at least one is for Wenora, so we'll take a look at that one in detail in a moment. What else have we got here? Welcome to the fungal. So task A, let's see. Does it say, I mean, that's obviously Wenora. Does it say Wenora anywhere on here? No, I don't think so. So I got to figure out, is this Wenora as well? It's hard to tell what these go with. Hallucination is Wenora. Oh, there we go. Okay, Wenora. Okay. Grakkis. And again, these other 2 planets as well have some replacements. And what is this for? This is for that planet too. So let's get out the Wenora ones. Let's just do that first. So we've got the Wenora box here, even though I just put it away. Let's take it back out. And a couple of these replacements look a little bit more straightforward to me. Others I'm more confused about. So we have, here's our tasks. This is task A 6/8. So 2 of 8, 4 of 8, 6 of 8. So we're going to replace that with that. I'm sure there's, yeah. This one says, in this paragraph here, spore clouds cannot be spawned on nodes where a tiny tentacle is present. This one says spore clouds cannot spawn on nodes containing a tiny tentacle. I don't know what the clarification is for, but I'm sure there's a purpose. So we'll put this one here, discard the other. This is Wenora as well. Task B, we have cards 4 and 6. I'm not seeing obvious differences, but maybe if you zoom in, you can see a difference somewhere. Okay, well, this one I keep. Put these two side by side as well. Try and find a difference if you can. Oh, it looks like it's in this paragraph. So the old one says, when the time marker reaches one of these triggers, the crew must either consume 3 materials or lose 4 focus. The new one says, when the time marker reaches one of these triggers, the crew must either. And then it just has the, it looks like updated iconography here maybe. So we'll get rid of this, replace it with this. All right, now what I'm not so sure about. Oh, it looks like I think there's multiple of these hallucinations. So let's see if we can find. Yeah, it looks like it's this one here. I just happened to grab the right one. There's no others that say this, huh? Yeah, they're all slightly different. Okay. So what does this one clarify? This one has these words in big text, for the remainder of the game, and this one does not. So we'll replace that card. And it looks like that's it for Wenora. So we'll put this one back together. We've got something for Grakkis as well, so we'll do that one next. Oh, I forgot this. We'll go back to Wenora. Okay, task A, and this is card 6-8, this one. So I don't see an immediate difference on this side. Let's check the other. And this paragraph has been changed. So the old one, place a black marker in a box when someone with the electrified property uses below action while at a pylon you haven't charged yet. And the new one says an explorer on a node with a pylon can take the charge pylon action below. So I don't know what any of this means, but it seems like this one is being replaced with this one. Set it off to the side. 2, 4, 6, 8, and it looks like that was it for Grakkis. So these other ones for planets, I think it was 3 and 6. I will go over these in the videos, the unboxing videos for Planet 3 and Planet 6, so you can look those up. I will set these to the side, and we'll go back to Wenora real quick and figure out what that card was. And what's going on here is one of these different chemistry breakthrough. So those are going to be these. So there are 4 of these. Oh, and yeah, these are not identical. I was thinking they were. So which of these is being replaced? This one. You can see this one's got an icon on it. This one does not. There's some text differences. So I'm going to remove the old one, replace it with the new one, and call it good. So let's put this away one more time, and then we can wrap this thing up. And let's put everything away now. So we've got our main box with this bottom tray already in there. And now we add the player trays on top with my corrected orange tray included. The old orange tray is gone. And then we'll put our 2 planet boxes, which are going to be planets 1 and 2 because that's what comes with this, and I have not played yet. But in the future, like I said, if I want to take this to a friend's house, I could replace these with any other 2 planets that I have. So that's convenient. That helps. And then I've got my 4 trays here. These don't really matter except just put this one on top because, again, this is the only one without loose pieces. So they all hold each other together. They can go in any order, but this one should be on top so nothing else is sliding around. And then we've got our reminder cards and our rulebook. And that fits in there just fine. So let's pop a lid on this thing and call it good. So this has been my unboxing of the Unsettled base framework. So this is the base game with the first 2 planets. If you order it, this is what you can expect to get. And then, of course, I included the Errata, which I did not order. It came with this when I ordered from the publisher. So just be aware that it exists and it's out there. If you're buying Unsettled, the base framework secondhand, you might want to ask if it includes some of those updated cards and pieces. But I am really, really excited to play this game. I think it's just my type of game. I'm really going to enjoy it. Let me know if you'd like to see playthroughs on this channel because it could be considered spoilery depending just on your own personal temperament and opinions. And some people might want to watch it and some might not. So I can put like a spoiler disclaimer, but I'm looking forward to playing it solo, which will probably be multi-handed, and I think I'd like to put that on this channel. And then I really, really am looking forward to playing this multiplayer with some other people. I think that would be super fun. It's really the way it's intended to be played, but you know, it's my game now, so I'm going to do whatever I want. And then, as I said, I'm going to just spread out the unboxing of all my other Unsettled content, because I have a lot of it, over several weeks. I'll make a playlist out of it, so that way if you're looking for one particular component, you want to know if you should buy it or not as you're buying the framework, or you know, maybe you've already got it and do you want to add this thing on, I'll at least show you what's in those boxes, and I'll just do those one at a time. So let me know what you think in the comments. Be sure to subscribe and leave a like. And don't forget, you can head over to my coffee page, ko-fi. There's a link in the description. You can drop me a couple bucks, and that helps to keep the channel running. And I really, really appreciate it. So thank you to everyone who's done that. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching Table for One. I will see you next time. And don't forget, space is hard. Try not to die. I'll see you in the next video.